with Kaila Mussell online with us. Hello.
Hello, Pepper. How are you?
We are doing good on a Monday night. What's going on?
Oh, just rain back home here.
What have you been up to? I think last time I talked to you, you were going cross country or something. What was that?
I was in Thailand for a little bit, so I had a little bit of rest and relaxation before the season started, and it was a really great experience because I've actually never really been out of North America.
What do you do in Thailand?
Have a good time.
Well, besides
There's
that,
lots.
you
There's
can't.
lots of beaches and sunshine. I think the 30 days I was there, it was sunshine all day, so that's something I really miss from being where I'm from. That's for sure.
Well, where's that?
I live in Chilliwack, British Columbia.
Aha. Not a lot of sun, not a lot of bright sunny beaches over there.
Yeah, lots of bright, sunny beaches. I rode an elephant when I was over there. I did some Muay Thai kickboxing, and yeah, I did a number of things. It was pretty cool.
Now the kickboxing sounds interesting. Now, did you just kind of do that for fun, or did you just jump in a tournament and take their money?
Well, it's actually something I would have liked to have gotten into if I had started a little bit earlier into fighting. I had trained for about 3 years back in, let me think now, probably back in 2010. And I was actually training to fight, but I had a couple girls back out. And then with rodeo and everything, I kind of got out of it. I use it a little bit just for training and stuff in the wintertime. It's really good for my reflexes and really good to stay in good physical fitness. So I really enjoy it.
Well, that'll work. I see what happened. You had them girls lined up. You said, "Yeah, I'm riding bucking horses," and they said, "You know what? I don't want no part of that." You scared them off.
Yeah, they might have done a little bit of research on who I was and decided against it.
Yeah, they figured that out. So tell us about your bucking horse riding.
Well, what do you want to know?
Where some of where some of the big events that you've been in?
Some of the big ones. I've been to quite a few over the years. Nothing. Probably the most big shows I went to was when I filmed my pro card. So that was back in 2003. So I went to a number of the major tour rodeos and whatnot. I can't even list them now. There's quite a few of them. Probably the two exceptions, the ones I really didn't go to, was Cheyenne Frontier Days and Pendleton Roundup. Otherwise, I went to majority of the big pro rodeos around the states in both Canada and the U.S. Since then, I've gone to a few pro rodeos here and there over the years, but I haven't really gone as hard as I did in 2003 when I first filmed my pro card. I still hold my pro status, and I do go to some pro rodeos, although the last 2 years I haven't. Mainly 2014, I broke my neck and I was out for a year, and then I started back last year and just was hitting amateur rodeos and whatnot just to get back into the groove and kind of get my confidence back. So I'm actually planning on hitting it harder this year and going to some more pro rodeos again and expanding it from what I've been in the last few years. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That is exciting, and then you've got to hit up some of those qualifiers for the American.
Yes, I know. I'm too slow this year once again. I was at this point here last year. Well, of course, last year this time I was just considering coming back riding. So, and then I kind of missed it this year. But definitely next year I would love to do that for sure.
Yeah, that right there that's something. I mean, that's something to see. I mean, even for those that are competing and those not to go to watch. I mean, that's just that's the ultimate rodeo right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was actually even looking to try to see if I could go to that last qualifier, and I'm like, nah, money, budget, and everything right now. I'm like, it's not happening this year, but there's still more years to come. As long as I stay healthy and everything, my mind's right, and I'm in a good place mentally for still, the passion's, kind of been revived since I've gone through my whole ordeal and everything, and I'm ready to kind of hit it hard again, so I'm pretty excited.
That's a good deal because like I say, get out there and get at it while you can, because I mean that's a big chunk of change to take home in one day.
Exactly.
So what else do you do? What else do you do when you're not riding broncs?
I have a couple of different jobs. I work construction. My brother's a contractor building custom homes, so I work for him doing some carpentry, and I also paint. And then I'm also a horse equine therapist. So I work on horses, and I'm also a personal trainer, and I do teach fitness classes. So between the three, I stay pretty busy, and they're flexible enough that I can take off for rodeos when I want to, and it works pretty well.
That does sound like it works pretty well. You got plenty of stuff going on to keep you busy and keep you in shape, and then hit the rodeo trail when you need to.
Yes, exactly.
So what's one of the goals? What's a goal you got set up for this coming up year, getting back to it, and what do you got set this year that you want to try to hit?
I actually am thinking about hitting more of the Canadian Pro Rodeos this year. My focus in the past has been to head south, but this year I think I actually want to try to qualify for the Canadian Finals Rodeo because I haven't done that before. So that's sort of my goal would be to hit the major Canadian Pro Rodeos. I'll still go to some across the line because I only live about 20 minutes from the border, but I would say if anything, that's going to be my start, and then maybe look at trying to hit the NFR or seeing how well the year goes. What my plan is as it progresses.
All right, and then what about? I just lost my train of thought.
It happens.
That happens. That's what it's all about when you're live. When you're live on.
I was worried it was going to happen to me, so I'm kind of happy it happened to you.
Oh, now I remember where I was going. That's what they ask. People always ask, "What's your?" I've had people ask me before, and they come on the show and they're, "Well, send me the list of questions." I said, "List of what questions?" I figure it out when I get there. I don't know. I don't have questions. I don't have a list of questions. But
you never. It seems like you never really go off the list, though. If you have a list, it always ends up going off somewhere else. So I don't really think a list keeps you that prepared.
We barely have it.
It's just more that I don't sound dumb while I'm talking. It's more of the deal, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we barely have an itinerary here. We don't even know what we're going for the show.
Yeah, we just have a general idea what we're going to talk about. That's about how it goes. Now, what I was going to get into was the clinics. You do some clinics and things throughout the year?
Yeah, I actually just started doing it. I've been wanting to do it for a really long time, but it just so happens this fall, I guess it was in October, or last fall, I was asked by Brian Wallace, who has an organization, Bronc Riders of the United States, and he's been putting on schools now for a couple of years, and he's been wanting me to come out for a while, and it just worked out that I could come out last fall, and I absolutely love the teaching. So I actually have done 2 so far. I did one in October and one in November, and now we have one coming up in March, and it's going to be in Louisville, Texas, and that'll be the 27th and 28th, which is that's March 27th and 28th, and that's Sunday, Monday. So I'm super excited to be able to help out with that. I mean, I would say it's the closest thing I enjoy to bronc riding. Not quite the same, but I enjoy it just as much as pretty close to as much as bronc riding, just being able to help and give back to others, kind of what I've learned and my experience and everything. Because I really find that there was some, loopholes in the teachings I was given over the years, and you kind of compile everything you learned over the years. And it's just really neat to be able to give back and see progress in kids and get feedback that's positive and help and encourage them. Because rough stock riders, especially saddle bronc and bareback riders, we're kind of a dying breed these days. So it's nice to be able to help out and sort of coax some kids along to sort of becoming world champions. So it's really exciting for me to be able to do that.
And it's a good deal because like you say, nobody wants to ride horse anymore. Everybody wants to be a bull getter honor. There's not many bull riders left. They're bull getter honors. They get on them. They ain't riding, but they get on them.
Well, there's those in the horse events as well, but it's true. It's true. There is a lot of those out there. So I know it's up here in the Northwest. We're dying out pretty hard for horse riders. So I actually been asked to do another school in Washington in probably April. We're just waiting to set on dates, and I'm right now currently looking at trying to put on a school in BC because even in British Columbia we haven't had a rodeo school for a very long time, like quite a few years. So it's just kind of time where I feel like I can give back and stuff. I've been at bronc riding for 15 years, but I've been at rodeo for longer than that, and I just kind of feel it makes me feel good to be able to, all my time spent, all these years doing the sport I love to do, to be able to give back my knowledge and help out and stuff. So my plan is to be able to put on quite a few more. So things are just sort of in the works, but I'm pretty excited about what's happening with it right now.
And I think it'll be a good deal. I think that'll be good to get out there and get these kids schooled up on what they do. And the good thing about doing school on Monday is if you head out a little earlier, you run down to the studio and sit in here. Louisville's not that far. It's not that far. It's probably about an hour, I guess.
Yeah.
You're saying to go on the show again?
Well, yeah, why not?
Kind of
You're already here. You might as well come in here and sit in here and talk about
nonsense.
nonsense.
Somebody to come pick me up, though? I don't have wheels.
I'll text Travis while he's driving around. He'll find you.
We can manage.
I'm flying in. I'm not driving it.
He's got wheels. He drives around town.
Come pick me up, and I'll be on the show.
There you go.
We have chauffeur over here. We have a little chauffeur.
Chauffeur, yeah. Text Travis chauffeur service.
Okay, right on. I'm in.
All right. Now you said you're 15 years of rodeo. What other events did you compete in? Did you always saddle bronc, or did you do some other stuff too?
No. I actually started off as a barrel racer, and so I've been in rodeo longer than 15 years. This is like 15 years of me bronc riding off and on over the years. So I've been in rodeo since 1990. So we're looking at like 25 years or 26 years. Well, 25 years. And yeah, I started off as a barrel racer, and then I rode steers. So I was a junior steer rider. And then I got too old to do that, and I wanted to stay in the rough stock. And I actually wanted to ride bulls. I got on bulls for a little bit, and my family wasn't too thrilled about that. And then I got on some broncs for a little bit because my brother was wanting to learn how to ride too, and I kind of got a little taste of it. And then at the same time, I was trick riding, so I had a bunch of trick riding contracts. I trick rode at Calgary Stampede and Pacific National Exhibitions and big shows in Canada, and some pro rodeos. And then so I got busy with that, and I didn't really bronc ride. And then I quit trick riding in '99, retired, and I'm like, okay, now's the time. We're gonna get back bronc riding. I figure it's time. So that was 2000. So really, I've been going pretty steady off and on since 2000. So, it's been a big challenge for me with saddle bronc riding. I've done a lot of different events over the years, sport-wise and, horse-related, and things have usually come pretty easy to me, and saddle bronc riding has been the most challenging, and I think that's my reason for sticking at it for so long and still wanting to pursue more goals with it. So there's just so many aspects of it, and so much of it's out of your control that it's pretty unpredictable. But when you have that one awesome ride where everything goes perfectly and it slows down with the bronc and you're in perfect timing, it's what it's all about. So that's why I do it. That's why I'm passionate about it, and I haven't found a replacement for it. I don't think I'll ever really find a replacement for it, but I can still do it, so why not keep doing it?
There you go. Why not? So I'll tell you what, before we get out of here, the folks want to find you out there on the interweb net. What's the best place to direct them to go?
My fan page. So it's Kaila Mussell. I think it says athlete on there. So that's my fan page. If you can just like me on that. I've also on Instagram. It's under my name as well. And then I'm also on Twitter. So all of them are under my names. You should be able to find me. And if you can like my page, follow me or whatnot, that would be much appreciated. I'll usually post my schedule and whatnot so you can see where I'm going to be and where I'm going to be next. So.
All right, we'll do that. We'll put it out there and let the folks know. And we look forward to watching some more of those bronc stomping videos.
All righty, sounds good.
All right.
Well, it was nice to talk to you.
All right, thank you. Let's try this ring-a-ding-ding. Is it ring-a-ding-ding in your ear over there?
I can hear a little bit.
There you go.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sage Kimzey right here on the Pepper Stewart Show. What are you up to today?
Oh, just enjoying life. You know how it is.
What'd the bank say when you walked in there with that big check? Did they have a reader to scan that thing?
They definitely were pretty surprised.
Did they give you a regular?
That is, a life-changing amount of money.
Did they give you that big cardboard check, or did you get one of the smaller ones to take in, or you had to drag that big one all the way in there?
I got one of the smaller ones, thank goodness. I don't know if the bank would have been too happy if I'd have come carting that big check in.
I don't know. I'd like to see the look on those tellers' face when like, I don't know if it's going to fit in the machine.
I am going to have to try that at least one time.
Yeah, just drag that big Happy Gilmore check in there to him.
Right.
So you had a pretty good, pretty good week. You know, knocking it out there at the CBR and then coming to the American and knocking it out. So you've been a busy man.
Yeah. Couldn't ask for a better week. You know, it is absolutely, as cliche as it is, it really was. It was a dream come true, and it was just an awesome week, no doubt.
Well, it lived up to the billing. I mean, it was getting down to the American there on Sunday. I mean, right down to the end, right down to the wire. You couldn't have scripted that any better. That was perfect.
No doubt, yeah. You know, the fans said what they wanted to see whenever they voted me in as the fan exemption, and they got to see what they saw, and really the entire rodeo was just. It was amazing. It was one of the best events I've ever been a part of. And like you said, you couldn't have scripted it any better. Everybody, I felt like, really enjoyed it. Everybody that I talked to, loved the rodeo as a whole. It was a great day. It really was.
It worked out great. Man, it worked out for a good deal. Now, I understand that you're trying to get multi-sport action going on and trying to hit some golf balls. What's that all about?
I do. I love the sport of golf. It's real fun, and it's a nice change of pace from bull riding. It definitely is. It's just a fun sport that I like to fiddle around with, especially when we're on the road. There's not very many things that we can do to go kill an afternoon that we're outside in the beautiful weather. Get to see, beautiful golf courses all over the country. I do. I enjoy golfing quite a bit.
Now is your other half bugging you for a vacation now to take her somewhere?
Not quite yet. She knows that it's about to heat up and the job's about to get busy.
She's like, I'm pretty sure we can go somewhere now for at least a week.
Right, yeah. Somewhere that has a lot of water surrounding it and nice sandy beaches.
And a real nice golf course, probably.
Exactly.
So you're more of the water type guy. You like to go out on the ocean or out on the lake and just hang out on the water?
Yeah, I love the beach. That's we don't have too many beaches around Oklahoma or Texas, so anytime I get to go to the beach, I absolutely love the beach. Just kind of get away from everything. It slows everything down. And, just kind of get to escape the real world for a while.
And that works. We always get these crazy fan questions in here. I don't know why we do, but when's the last time you had some nachos?
Some nachos. Probably when I'd tell you when it was. It was at Fort Worth in the hospitality tent. I had nachos with cheese, chili, and a few jalapenos.
there you go. Not too long ago. So what about your workout regimen? What do you do to keep in shape? Because I believe there's a video out there of a Frogger on yoga balls.
Yeah, we were watching you play Frogger on the Twitter box, jumping from yoga ball to yoga ball. I wanted to know what was harder, learning how to putt that golf ball or learning how to jump from yoga ball to yoga ball.
I tell you what, the golf ball didn't hurt near as bad the first few times whenever I failed.
Now, see, I was wondering where the outtakes clip was because we saw the finished product, but we didn't see.
I should have kept track of all of it. Actually, that was my first attempt. I had jumped on the medicine balls, and done some medicine ball work before, and that was my first attempt going from ball to ball, and nailed it on the first try, and I was like, oh man, this is easy. And then it took about 30 minutes till I nailed it again.
Yeah. Well, see, we missed the other 29 then.
Definitely, yeah. We need to get an outtake clip. It would definitely be comical.
Oh man. So Where you headed? Where you headed to next? Where's the next rodeo you're headed to?
San Antonio's Extreme Bulls Saturday afternoon, and then the finals that night.
Okay.
Then headed to Grand Island for the Wrangler Champions Challenge, and the Extreme Bulls up there in Nebraska, and then out to Vegas for the season.
All right. Well, busy man. But hey, when you get them big cardboard checks, it's just another day at the office.
Definitely.
All right. We won't hold you up too long. We'll let you get back to it. And before we do let you go, do you want to throw out some sponsors that help you out up down the road?
Oh man, I have the greatest sponsors. I really do. You know, starting off with Wrangler, they've been with me for the longest. You know, my rookie year, they picked me up, helped me get down the road, and it's truly, you know, all the sponsors that I have are. I truly believe in all the brands, and they're absolutely amazing. Ruffy and Huey Apparel, T-shirts, ball caps, coming out with new backpacks for cowboys to travel with, going back to school. You know, I love all the Ruffy and Huey product that's coming out right now. Polaris Ranger, everybody knows about Polaris. They are, you know, as their slogan says, toughest working, smoothest riding. They're absolutely, you know, state-of-the-art machines. Bloomer trailers, which actually not a lot of people know about it right now, but Bloomer is doing a stock combo instead of just horse trailers, and they are absolutely, you know, they're the leading horse trailer in the industry, and I think their stock trailers will take on it, and they'll be exactly the same way. The attention they put into details, just phenomenal. MGM Grand. Anytime you're in Las Vegas, if you're not at the MGM, you're not at the place where everything's happening, for sure. And then, of course, Mr. Benny Cute Energy Services, 7X Ranches, Cute Bucking Bulls. And my sponsors they're the greatest.
And that's something, you know, that's a lot of things that get overlooked a lot of times. But you know, sometimes it's the little things that make it happen, make it all worthwhile, and get you rolling. And then you get these big checks you can't put in the truck.
No, that's why he's got Bloomer trailer to stick it in.
Just put it in the trailer.
Yeah.
No doubt. I was very particular with who I associated myself with as far as endorsement deals go, and like I said, I believe in all the products, all the people that I work with. The companies as a whole are all absolutely fantastic, and I would encourage anybody that is in the market for any of those things, go check them out, because they're great people, and they're the best products on the market, no doubt.
We'll do that. We will let them know and come check stuff out. And we appreciate you visiting with us, because we know you're a busy man right now. But we'll just tell you good luck on the rodeo road, and we'll see you on the next one.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thank you. That's him right there, the man with the plan and the big cardboard checks. And we do have a call. We did tell we was going to talk to the man himself, and we've got him here on the line, Mr. Don Yates.
How are you?
We are doing great.
Awesome.
Hi there.
There in Texas.
It's chilly. I got Sherry Smith, the Smith Pro in here, and we got the California Kid in here in studio as well.
How you doing?
Very cool. How y'all doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right yourself?
Doing good. Doing good.
Well, it's good to talk to you again.
Yeah, nice to talk to you. Everybody have a good Christmas?
I had a great one. It was great. I had my two oldest kids home. I have 6, and it was wild. All 8 of us in the camper again, and it was intense.
Very cool.
Yeah. How about you?
I had a wonderful Christmas. Went to Arizona and spent it with family.
And you live in California, right?
Yep, living in California.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. Well, I know you have a lot going on. I've been really excited to get to know you, and the more I research you, the more I'm amazed. My son said to me earlier, what doesn't he do? And so So I guess that's my first question is what haven't you done? Good night. Is there anything you want to try that you've never done?
There is anything that I haven't at least tried once.
Well, I watched you in a dance-off in Hawaii against a basketball, someone in basketball, and you won. I mean, you were breakdancing. You are awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, that was at a USO tour that we did. I've been very fortunate to get to go overseas 6 times to support our troops, and of course that was the most plush that we had. We went over to Hawaii and hit all the bases around Hawaii and got to play basketball against the troops. It was myself and a bunch of other actors and singers and different people, that are in the entertainment business, and just kind of spread some cheer through our military families. And I've been fortunate to go there. We went to Germany one trip. We went to Korea. I've been all through Italy, and then I've been to Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, Oman, Qatar, Kyrgyzstan, quite a few places. So it's been a lot of fun to go over there and support our troops.
Well, thank you very much for doing that. I really appreciate it. I know that they deserve all the support.
We were very fortunate here in this country to have the freedoms that we do, and and for me to be able to live out all the dreams that I do. I mean, I've been a professional rodeo clown bullfighter for 29 years. I wrestled with the WWE for a short stint. I was Wolf on American Gladiators, and I get to do all of that because I'm free to do that. I have my own choices, and that's because of our military, fighting for those freedoms.
Well said. Very well said. That's right. I agree. I think anything we can do for our troops is wonderful, especially supporting them when they're overseas and fighting the enemy and abroad and even within our own borders.
Oh, yeah.
Now, going back, we did watch a lot of American Gladiators back when it was on, and that was a that was a great show back, when it was on. And one of the things was kind of wondering is what, with all the different things you do, what was it that got you into bullfighting?
Well, I was in high school and some buddies of mine were riding bulls, and they knew that I had trained horses and that I was good with, livestock, and so they, asked me if I wanted to go out and start riding bulls with them, and I didn't really, I'd never really looked at bull riding as a sport that I wanted to do, but I had always watched the rodeo clowns and bullfighters, and thought that was something I'd like to do because I grew up as an entertainer and an athlete. I played every sport there was. I was on all the all-star teams. I was singing in nightclubs by the time I was 7. With my grandfather owned nightclub, so I was doing that. And this was a way that I could actually do both. I could go out, entertain crowds, have fun, and also athlete. And it was just something that kind of piqued my interest. I went out with those guys to a practice pen in Estrella Park arena outside of Phoenix, and my athletic ability kept me from getting hit and run over by bulls, but I wasn't good at the job of it. And so that was something that, everything else I was really good at just automatically, and this was something that I really had to focus on and learn how to do the job. It's not just running around and not getting hit by bulls. It's actually going in and taking the bull away from the rider, even if it means getting hit. So, it took me a while to get really good at it. At first, I don't think a lot of guys were happy when they saw me show up. And but over the years, I really studied. I would sit in the back pens. I would actually lay down in the back pens, kind of up against this one bull, Snickers, and I would watch how all the other bulls moved each other, and kind of watch their pecking order, and I just really learned how to read bulls and how they move, and I got to be good at what I do.
Now, when you were working a lot of the big shows, PRCA shows, stuff like that, who was one of the guys that you really liked working with?
I had watched Rick Chapman when I was younger. At Phoenix JC's rodeo, Rick and Leon and Tom Feller, they would always come in and do the rodeo, and so those were the 3 guys that I kind of really looked up to. And Wick Teth, of course, and Steve Miocic. Everybody came through Phoenix, with the bullfights and everything. And so when I started getting to work with Rick, that was kind of a dream come true, and he became a pretty good mentor of mine and my best friend for life. And just recently we lost Rick, and it was extremely hard on me. But that's life's a full circle, and so. But yeah, working with Rick was just awesome. I learned a lot from him. Jeff Copza was another one that really taught me how to fight bulls well. He's a guy that a lot of people don't really know about. He went to the finals twice in the Wrangler bullfights, but he should have been at the national finals protecting cowboys because he was one of the best cowboy protectors there was. And then another guy that I really like to work with a lot was, he's my brother. We've traveled and lived together for about 20-some years. I just saw him over Christmas as well, and that's Matt Lucking. That guy has worked every circuit finals in the country. I think he's worked 19 total. He's worked the Dodge National Circuit Finals. He's worked the high school finals, the junior high finals, the collegiate finals. He's worked everything but the national finals, and honestly, he's a better cowboy protector than anybody going.
And that's a great list of guys. Rick Chapman was my neighbor growing up as a kid out in Vista. So he's the one that got me started in fighting bulls and kind of helped me get along and pretty much taught me most stuff that I knew. So that's a great guy to learn from out there.
He was such a good, just great guy. But then when it comes to bullfighting credentials, he's the only Triple Crown winner that ever won Clown of the Year, won the world, and worked the finals all at the same year. And that year was the year that he lost his toes too in a skiing accident.
Yeah.
So he was beating everybody with half a foot.
Oh yeah.
So he was incredible.
Yeah, I remember that he come to the house one day on crutches, and we said, "Well, what happened to you? Bull hooky or something?" No, skiing accident. What?
Well, that's Rick. Getting lost. We always would go on the road. Him and Eddie Hatfield and Tim Tatum and I. We'd traveled a lot together, and we would always go do something in every town we went to, and we always called them Rick's Outdoor Adventures. And you were pretty much sure to get lost at some point. So. We lost him this year. Yeah.
What about American Gladiators? What was that like? I know watching it was pretty entertaining.
It was a blast. Other than fighting bulls, it's the best job I've ever had. I woke up in the morning, had breakfast. This is probably a PG-13 deal, so
it'll be all right.
I kind of blew that. We've blown that already.
Actually, how I got the job was I was in that Las Vegas, Nevada, spray tanning all the competitors for the Mr. and Miss Olympia bodybuilding show, and the casting director saw me and said they wanted to have me come and be on the American Gladiator. So I got the job. So I would actually start my day spray tanning a couple of the Gladiator girls while I ate breakfast.
We would
go to work.
There was a Dallas girl. There was a Dallas girl on there by the name of Crush. I don't know if she ever got spray tan, but
I didn't spray tan Crush. She's a very, very shy girl, but she's a really, really cool girl, and Gina is such a sweetheart. And, her and I would hang out quite a bit together afterwards and have a beer and a Jack Daniels and pizza, and she was such a cool girl to be around. And you talk about double tough. That girl is double tough. And that's we got to go to a playground every day and beat up on people all day long, and then go back to the apartments and sit in the hot tub, and we would all cook together, and so it was kind of like a family. We kind of barbecued every night at some point, and would sit around the hot tub and just joke about all the competitors that we just beat up.
All the people smashed up.
Sounds like a good time.
It all looked fun. The only event that I know would have been really tough for me would have been the rings.
Those it's the rings. There's a trick to them, and it's not really a trick. Everybody tries to muscle up on the rings. They try to hold themselves up, and you really have to kind of almost let your shoulders fall out of socket and just use the momentum of the swing. It's like you watch monkeys, and that's they're at the very end of their arm swinging. They're not trying to hold themselves up by pulling.
I can see that.
I don't know if I want to try that now. Too old to try that now. I will pull something out of socket.
Never too old.
No, we know you're still doing some clowning. You were down here at Mesquite, I guess, not too long ago, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in Mesquite once in June, and then the last week of July and all of August. I did 7 shows, 14 performances there. And then I did a couple PRS deals, the Professional Rough Stock Series. I did a couple PRCA shows in Arizona and California. And this year, looks like I might be going up to Alaska to do a couple shows, and then hopefully back down to Mesquite. And, I love what I do, and that's something that, I never ever really planned on retiring from rodeo. I figured I would probably do it forever. And, people always ask me, they say, well, how long can you go? And I'm like, well, Liesl Harris is like 76 and he's still going. So I imagine I can go till I'm at least 76.
There you go.
Sure, yeah. Absolutely.
There you go. And you're still singing, got some songs out there.
Yeah. I've got my band going. I do, this next couple months, I've got a bunch of acoustic gigs and then a few full band shows. And then I'm also doing we're doing a charity cruise in September, actually leaving, I believe, on Labor Day and heading out to the Bahamas for a 4-day cruise, and all the proceeds are going to go to Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors. I became friends with Jared Allen a few years ago. He was playing for the Minnesota Vikings, but we were at the Academy of Country Music Awards and just met and, became friends. And he had gone overseas and done a USO tour as well. And when he got back, he wanted to do something to help the troops and the guys that had been injured. And so he started a foundation called Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors, where they could go in and they basically rebuild a house for the soldiers so that, it's wheelchair accessible, or if, depending on what their injury is. And he makes their house accessible to them so that they don't have the problems getting around their own home. There's plenty of problems in life. You don't need to have them in your house.
Right.
And so they rebuild the house for them. And so I'm going to do this charity cruise myself, my band, bringing on another band, Bill Archer and Haywire. They're from down there in Texas. And then another buddy of mine, Rob West. He's from Arizona, and he's a professional golfer, but he's a great singer-songwriter. And then another young gal named, I believe, Callie is coming. And it's just going to be a cool Southern Rock Fest on a boat for 4 days down to the Bahamas and back. And while we're in the Bahamas, we're going to go over to a little orphanage and hand out some gifts to the orphans there. And,
Awesome.
So always hustling my music. I'm working on my next album right now. I've been writing and gathering songs, and hopefully in the next month or two I'll get in and start recording. And then just, trying to find bookings to get my band out on the road.
Well, that sounds like a plan. We've got a couple of songs we're going to play here after a while at the breaks. We got a couple of songs we're going to play and videos and things. So I guess with that, we're going to appreciate the time you spent with us, visiting with us, and we'll have you on again shortly. If anybody's wanting to find out anything, what is the website they need to go to?
They can go to HollywoodYates.com, or if they're on Facebook, they can go to Facebook.com/Hollywood Yates Music. And, I try to post on there every day. I have a couple people helping me out as well. So you'll know it's me when I'm posting, because I'll sign it Hollywood. And if it's, one of my people that are trying to help me get my fan base building bigger, they post a lot of stuff as well.
Okay.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Hollywood Yates and Instagram at Hollywood Yates.
All right, we'll do that.
Absolutely. Follow all of them.
Yes, we will get it out there, and like I said, we appreciate it, and we'll catch you again down the road. All right, we did tell you we're talking about reading and books and stuff and cowboys and things. So with that, right here on the Pepper Stewart Show, you got Karen Rock's, author of multiple cowboy, western, rodeo book stories, but they're stories. And right here we've got Karen. Karen, how you doing today?
Hi, great, Pepper. How are you?
We are doing good. We're just sitting down here in Dallas, enjoying the weather and talking about stuff. And we teased that we were going to talk about books and stories. So I don't know nothing about that. So we thought we'd bring in an expert that knows about books and stories.
I used to be an English teacher, so that'll work out perfect.
There you go. So Karen Rocks, author of some good. You've got some good books out there. You got the Rocky Mountain Cowboy series going. You want and some other stuff. You want to tell us about some of those?
Yeah. So a while back, actually, Pepper, when you and I first met, I wrote a book called His Kind of Cowgirl. And in that book, I had one rodeo scene. I had a bull rider, and I didn't know how to write that scene well enough. So I was working with a bull riding agent, a wonderful lady, and she put me in touch with you. She said, let me just forward this scene on to a friend I have and let him look at it. And she contacted me. She said, well, he looked at it, and his feedback was, this gal's not from the West, is she? Which really cracked me up, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna like this Pepper. But he's willing to work with you on the scene, and you did, and we even chatted on the phone, and we had a great conversation, and it just really inspired me to think, I've always loved the West. I've loved watching movies, reading books. I mean, from like a very young age, I read this series, and I don't know if you've heard of it, but I used to go to like the dollar bookstore, and buy these books. They're called Westward Bound, where like they followed like people that would settle states out west, and I just fell in love with it. Each one was a different state: Oklahoma, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and I always thought, oh gosh, if I could ever write books set out in the West, that would be a dream come true. So I do kind of feel like I'm living my dream writing this series for sure. So after I wrote that book, you gave me the courage to say, okay, you know what? You can do this, girl. So I went on and I wrote the next book, moved up. It was the sister of the heroine in that book, and moved up to Colorado, because the original book was in Texas, that first one. Moved up to Colorado, and I had, her sister was a stable manager at a dude ranch, and I had this really dark kind of cowboy character. He's a bounty hunter, and he's all scarred up from like a bar fight where he tried to defend his brother, and the people that he got in the fight with, they ended up taking his brother and killing him, and he's on this whole like vengeance thing trying to get these guys. And but I got really caught up in his backstory, and I kept thinking about, like, my husband has 7 brothers, and the Cage family, which is one of the 2 families in this series, they also have a lot of brothers. And I just kept thinking, boy, I'd really like to write a series with a lot of family drama, like a real saga, where, you have a family that has, gone through things I think a lot of people are going through. In their case, they lost one of the brothers. He, unfortunately, through a sports injury, got addicted to opiates. And because of that, he ended up, getting involved with the wrong people and got murdered. So from the story with the bounty hunter, that's what the Rocky Mountain Cowboy series came out of, was I wanted to go back and look at a family and how do they deal with a loss that is really hard to explain. And each person in the family has dealt with it differently. And each story kind of follows the love story of each of the brothers, and just about the family coming together and healing over this.
Now, when you're writing a series like this, do you plan a series, or do you just start with a book and you just kind of go from the first book and build on that book? Or when you go to write a book, do you think, well, I'm going to do a series of this, or does it just happen?
I am definitely a planner. That's the teacher in me, I guess, maybe. But one thing I started with is I always start with people rather than the story itself. So I just really looked at this family and I thought, who are these people? Who are the Cades? And I thought, okay, Jack Cade, that was the bounty hunter. He's like the enforcer in the family. He's like the oldest brother. And then you've got the second one who stayed home, and he's like the authoritarian. He's like, very protective of the family. He's not going to let any more outsiders come in
and threaten the peace of his family or his ranch, and that's James Cade. You have Jared Cade, and I was thinking, he should be the guy that's kind of like, quote-unquote, the good-looking Cade, although they're all gorgeous, but he's like too good-looking for his own good kind of thing. And everything's always come easily to him, but he ends up coming against a situation where things don't come easily, and he's got a lot of growing to do on that. And then Justin Cade is twin brother of Jesse Cade, who died. And, I just thought, he's a really dark character. He really feels deep down that he should have been the one that died, not his brother, because he thinks that Jesse was the better of the two of them. And then I have Jewel Cade, who's their sister, and she can outride, outshoot, outrope her brothers, and she's always had to keep up with them, and they never cut her any slack. She didn't want them to. And so then once I have those characters down, then I start thinking about what each story is going to be. And then on top of that, Pepper, I also have the Loveland family, and that's their neighbors, and they've been feuding with them for over 120 years. So every one of those, and they're all brothers and one sister again, huge family, and every one of those cowboys and one cowgirl all have their own personalities too. And so overarching for the whole series, you've got two things going on. You've got these two families that have been feuding for over 100 years over there's like a kidnapping, there was a murder, there was a priceless jewel theft because there was a 50-carat sapphire that was mined from the Yugo Gulch that, was like part of the family's dowry for the girl that got kidnapped and murdered. And they blame the other family blames the Cades because they strung up the Loveland that they blamed for it and did some vigilante justice right there on the spot. So that feud's been going on, and then it's just been escalating because of all these water rights issues that's been going on because the Cades have access to the Crystal River. The Lovelands used to have access that they had been granted to go through the Cade land in order to get to the Crystal River, but then the Cades sued to stop that, claiming all kinds of things that they were, cattle were interbreeding because one raises Brahmins, one's Longhorns, and they were causing damage. So it makes it really hard for the Lovelands because they got to drive their cattle way far to get to any water.
Right.
So it makes it difficult for them. You've got that feud going on over the whole series. And then on top of that, Boyd, who's the widower and head of the Loveland clan, and Joy, who's the widow and head of the Cade clan, they actually used to date way back in the day, and now they're kind of reconnecting, but their adult kids don't want those two to ever get together. That would be, there's no way in heck the Cades and the Lovelands are ever going to be united in a wedding like that. That's not happening.
Oh, man. Well, while you were explaining those, we pulled up the website and showing the folks the website, and we're looking at your website here, and we see someone else on the site. I don't know if it's a guest author or what, but you've got a pup here. What's the story on this pup?
Zoe. Oh my gosh, I love that little dog. She's so darn cute. So Zoe is a mixed breed. She's like part poodle, which makes her you pet her and she never sheds. I love that. And I actually had a dog I was very attached to, and I had her for 13 years. She was a diabetic. She went blind, and she was deaf.
Oh.
And but I kept her going for a long time, and my husband knew that she was pretty much on her way out, and he just went up and said, "We're going to Pennsylvania. I've got a dog. I already bought her." I was like, "What? What are you talking about? I don't want another dog."
Right.
But ended up being the best thing because we did lose my other dog, Lizzie, not too long after that, and it's always been a real comfort. And whenever I write, she sits right by me the whole time. So she's like my little writing buddy.
And speaking of the writing, and the writing in the books, what was it that inspired you to write books? What was it that you just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna write a book?
You know, that's a good question. I think it's something that for a lot of people, not for all writers, but for many, it's not even like you feel like you think, oh, I'm going to write a book. It's more like it's something that you just want to do. And for any profession, you know, when it's something you don't enjoy, it's work. But when it's something you do enjoy, this is just joy. So
Right.
for me, like I've been writing my whole life. Even when I was a little kid, I used to fill up journals, and every year I'd get a new journal, and I'd fill it up with anything. I'd write stories, poems, anything and everything. But I never really had the confidence to try to send anything out until my sister-in-law, who is also a romance author, who would read things that I would write. She said, Karen, come on, you really got to just get some courage here, girl, and send some things out. Because of her, I ended up sending things out and then just really took off from there.
Huh. Well, it's working out. It's doing good and working out. You got, you know, quite a few books out there for everybody. We've got your website up, KarenRock.com, and showing everybody about that deal. Well, we won't hold you up any longer, Karen.
Okay.
We do appreciate you visiting with us, and you know, we look forward to the next book and checking it out, seeing what you got, and then maybe catch back up with you later on the next one.
Sounds great. Yeah, I've got Falling for a Cowboy is out right now. So that's a story about a legally blind barrel racer that has a comeback and ends up going back into competition with a really great plan. And that one I think will appeal to anybody that's, you know, ever had any kind of physical challenge. And it's just really all about just never giving up and going for your dreams no matter what your limitations are. And it's a great love story. So I hope everybody will check that one out. And then after that, I've got a story called Bad Boy Rancher.
Uh-oh.
That comes out in April. So yeah, please do check me out on my website. I've got lots of news up there for everybody. And I also have a club called the Rocky Mountain Cowboys Book Club. And we are right now it's a small group, 300 strong, but really dedicated to like Western romances. So check that out on Facebook too.
All right, we'll do that.
All right, thank you so much, Pepper. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. There you are, right here at Pepper Stewart Show. We got Charly Crawford. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Oh, yeah.
We're doing a lot better than Texas, that's for sure.
Actually, I'm in Utah doing schools.
Schools. All right.
Hey, I need to go to Utah.
Good. Pretty good then.
How Utah? How everything in Utah?
Oh, it's good. It's a lot cooler. It's a lot cooler.
Oh, I imagine so. So what have you been up to? Working on schools, and what else you got going?
Yeah, we've been doing schools. We went out to Reno and went to the BFI, and then my wife roped out there in the Perry D, and she did good. I did pretty good. Then we're just on a 3-week school tour, and then we head down to Colorado Springs for the Finch shootout down there, and then the next week go down to Salt Lake City for the ERA rodeo.
Now, I guess we need to try to find out and break this out on the news. Is there a horse controversy coming up?
A horse? Oh yeah. No, not yet. Not yet. It's luckily we share well, so it's good. Yeah, it's she really enjoys seeing him, and I don't get too overly. I don't just take him, so it works out pretty good.
Okay.
So the more she rides him, the better, the more solid he'll get, and then when I'm sure if it's time to where if he's really that good and he ends up working better for me, I'm sure that it'll all end up panning out. But no, it's everything right now is pretty smooth on the home front as long as she doesn't sell him.
So who's won more money off of him?
Yeah. So yeah, really good horse for sure. She's done a good job with him.
Well, it works. Who's been top? Who's been top on him? Who's got the leaderboard going on him right now?
On the horse?
Yeah.
Oh, she does good on him. She heads on him a little bit and breakaways on him some. And he's still kind of green, so he's been getting called a lot more this year, and so after this year, he'll be pretty solid. So I took him to the ERA rodeo in Albuquerque, and shoot, he never made a bobble. He was awesome. So after this year, he'll be pretty solid. So it'll be exciting to see how that horse turns out.
Yeah, that ought to pan out pretty good. Yeah, I was watching that. I was getting caught up. I've been gone. Good timing, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was getting caught up on ERA rodeos, and I seen that, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to ask him about that." I didn't ask about that horse deal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a good one there. I enjoy riding him. He definitely ain't got no bad habits whatsoever. He knows the job. She's done a good job. Good job with him for sure.
Now,
he's an athlete.
Now, how are you liking this ERA, the ERA speed competition going on there with them fast times?
Oh, it's fun. Gosh, it's fun. It's so much fun. Getting to compete against them guys like that, kind of head-to-head competition like that, and I enjoy the whole rodeo. Man, I love the bulldoggers that are on tour, and everybody's rooting for everybody, and get to go back to shoots there at the end of the rodeo and root on my buddies in the bareback riding, and it's great. We're not in a hurry to get nowhere, and enjoy getting to meet all the fans and stuff before the rodeo. It's been great. Gosh, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, because I was thinking I seen you back there on the back of the chutes during some of the rough stock. I was going, he's hanging out back there too.
Yeah.
Must be having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, we've even thrown some of the steers before the arena or before the rodeos and stuff, kind of bulldoggers trying to get some of the steers kind of even and stuff like that, where it's a level bulldogging, and shoot, they were shorthanded one day, and I got to go out there and go help them throw steers down, and it's just fun, everybody's, it's not really segregated, I guess you say, is everybody's kind of on the same team and just in different events, so it's fun. I enjoy it. I've gotten to know a lot of these guys a lot better now, and it's been really, really enjoyable.
Well, that'll work. Now I hear you're rolling in a new trailer now.
Oh yeah. We got rid of a lot of our other stuff, and kind of downsized on a few things, and yes, sir, got a new trailer, and so yes, sir. So it's I don't have to go to as many rodeos now, so when we do, it'll be a good ride. So it'll be a good deal.
There you go, ride in style. Might as well stay in style if you.
Yes,
when
sir.
you're out there on the road, so that'll work out pretty good. So you
yeah,
guys.
It's been fun too. I got to take my family to Albuquerque, and I only got to do that one other time at the finals and stuff. So yeah, it's been fun. I really, really have enjoyed it. We've been really busy and a different kind of busy, but yeah, I've enjoyed it. So.
Well, that's a good deal. Staying busy on the rodeo road and the schools, and getting out there competing and helping out with the future generations, keeping them rolling and teaching them how to get it done.
Yeah, and luckily we've been able to manage time good too. We've been able to split it, between schools and working, and still staying sharp and still ready. Ready when we get there, and so it's been good. We've got some other opens to go to, and luckily we've been getting invited to some state shootouts, so I get to go to a few rodeos. Been going to a few amateur rodeos and been doing good. So it's been good to still stay sharp too while we're still doing other things. So it's good. Horses have enjoyed it a lot more. I know that. I know last year my good horse died a couple of years ago, so last year was kind of a trying to season my horses kind of year, and had to go through a few horses that some made it and some didn't. Blew some up. Had to go back and patch some up, and So this year I've got some good horses that are good, and I can take my time with them and still season them and not kind of put them in the middle of the fire. So it's actually a great time right now in my career where I'm at. So it's been, I feel like I'm roping good. I got some good horses coming along, and got the right horses for where I'm going. So I'm in a good spot.
All right, yeah, that'll keep things going, and I guess we won't hold you up too much longer. Let you get back to school and those guys and getting them ready to roll. And we appreciate you visiting with us. And if we don't hear from you before too long, we'll catch you in Dallas.
You got it. Well, I appreciate it, and you guys get around Salt Lake in a couple weeks. Next DRA event, we'll see you there.
That'll work. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Is this your first time to Texas?
No, I've been here a couple times actually. I was here actually a few months ago in Houston. I was at a Metro PCS signing, and then I have family here back in the day. They moved in Houston. My first time in Dallas, the second time in Dallas because I did a PR the first time.
Now, while you're in Texas, have you taken in a rodeo?
No, I've not gone to rodeo yet. I don't have time for the rodeo, but I would love to go to a rodeo.
Yeah, rodeo. While you're in Texas, you got to get a rodeo because you got the buckles here. You know, you got Cowboys got buckles, and
love it.
and the pride of winning that buckle, winning that belt is pretty much the same. On that level.
Well, yeah, definitely. I've done a mechanical bull, which is tough. It's actually really hard. But I would love to go to rodeo, check it out. Actually, me and wife were talking eventually here. We want to get some horses.
You need some horses. Now, when you're back home at your place, and you're not training, you're not out on the road. What do you find yourself doing just to relax?
I like video games a lot. But I hang out with my wife, my dogs, my family, friends. Just we have a big, huge barn, so it's heated and all that stuff. So we all out hang out there, have TV out there. So we're right on camp, we're drinking, having a good time, playing beer games, cards, Beersby, cornhole, all the good stuff.
Be a good barn to fill some horses up with, wouldn't it?
Well, we're gonna build another one behind it. We're thinking about getting one. We're actually going to adopt one from the. We're looking to adopt one from the Cleveland Police Mountie. They have horses. They every couple of years they're massive horses, beautiful. And so we were talking about doing that. So we're actually going to build one behind that barn, like a little stall for him, a little heated too, and make sure he's warm.
Well, that'll work. It gets cold up there. It's cold up there.
Cold, terribly cold. So it's cold right now.
Not here. So with your match coming up Saturday night, you think you're pretty evenly matched? Or how do you think it's going to go?
Oh, definitely, but I'm definitely going to win. There's no question. I've gotten a lot better since the last fight. He's going to find that out here Saturday. But he's a great fighter. He's fought the best in the world. But unfortunately, he's got to fight me.
Well, that'll work. We'll see you Saturday. Thank you.